This is Shadow Legend, an indie RPG built from the ground up for VR that immerses you in the medieval realm of Anaria. You begin the journey as the Grand Master of the Knights Templar at a time when your gods in your realm are at war. In Shadow Legend, you get to play with bows, swords, axes, staffs, and a gun. I did not film the gun. Also, there's a lot of items that you can mess around with and a lot of things that you can do. Oh, long fish doggy. In this game, you can talk to people. Sort of. We'll talk about that later. Example.
Good day, Dorian.
You're welcome. Shadow Legends offers quite a bit to do in most areas. And lots to interact with. This seems redundant. I don't know why I'm saying this again. Honestly, my favorite parts are probably playing with the animals and chopping the heads off the dead with the guillotine. Oh, gold. Oh, look at this cup. Oh, I have one just like it, but I need 14 more. Let me put this in my baby boomer's basket. In this game, you can also climb up the ladders and the vines and do all this not really parkour stuff, but more like gecko on the wall kind of stuff. Oh, more gold! Also, you need to climb the things to get to the runes and the gold pieces. The runes are important, again, we'll talk about later. There's a mini game that I'd like to mention, and I'm not gonna show you. The creme de la creme is the combat. You get to chop and slice and shoot and stab and whatever, and fire and staff and staff and staff and staff. One of the cool things is with the sword, they have this parry element where you can block at the right time and enter like a matrix mode. So when you go, ooh, you have the chance to like chop off limbs and heads and whatnot, and it's very rewarding. But for the bows and the staffs, those still pretty fun. They don't really have a reticle. There's no target. You're just shooting. You're just aiming and shooting. There's no way to see what you're aiming and what you're shooting at. If you like the realism, you're gonna like this. I liked it. I like the realism. The game does have a bow assist. It kind of worked. I find you kind of have to be at close range for it to be accurate. That may just be me being a shoddy shot, or I don't know. Just want to make that mention. Just want to mention that make. But you gotta be close to not only shoot accurately, but deal more damage. So it's kind of a, The gameplay is similar to a classic first-person RPG. Yeah! You got your guy, you got your inventory, you got your quest, you got your guy selling you things, you got your guy taking your things. For some reason, there's always undead. I don't know why. There is a cool wizard guy. You could talk to cool wizard guy. We'll be getting to that real soon. You going about looking for chests, enemies. That's about where it ends. There's not really much else. There isn't much of a progression system per se. There's no collecting new armor to upgrade your existing one, and no weapon enhancements. The way to upgrade your attributes is to collect the hearts from the dead. Similar to Breath of the Wild, you visit the shrine to upgrade your thing, but that's about it. Runes help you get better weapons in the late game. If you've been hoarding the gold from all around the world, because they are expensive. And when you're finally able to get a good weapon, the game is basically over. Once you go through a place, you can't go back. That's it. It's just you and Murray. There's no backtracking, so it's just a forward-moving thing, which I like, personally. There are no towns to travel to or additional quests to complete. It's just the narrative that's pushing you forward, and you're just there for the ride. Now to the voice recognition. I don't know about you. I like to talk to the people. I like to interact. I'm not a social person. It adds to the immersion by letting you interact with the NPCs. But then around 30 minutes of gameplay, it got a little buggy.
Excuse me, Father Gagnon. Excuse me, Father Gagnon. Excuse me, Father Gagnon.
Overall, though, game is pretty good. The graphics are good. The combat is pretty solid for a low-budget game. I had a lot of fun. Hats off to the devs for making this game possible. It was fun, challenging game to play. I was hoping the voice recognition would be a little bit more polished, but the fact that they added it in there and that they tried to give it a go, I'm excited to see where the technology goes. As a dungeon crawler, this was great. I don't do ratings. I'm just, yeah, I guess I'll just end it. This is
The bearer to wield more powerful weaponry, even some forms of sorcery. The carvings into these stones